All right, so I've been a huge fan of Google Analytics, you know, ever since since it first came out. It was this. I remember when it came out, and it was free, and it was actually pretty incredible.
Still free.
Yes. Unless you get the
free and there is premium.
Yeah. So one question that's coming up a lot that people want to know about is the sampling. When you're a smaller company and you're getting sample data, what are some best practices for using that if you can't afford to use Google Analytics Premium? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have any recommendations for that?
Yeah. So, well, sampling happens mostly with large websites. Even well, sometimes you might be a small company with a large website, which also happens. But basically, there are multiple ways to deal with it, and I think one of the ways is really making sure that you have a let's call it clean implementation. I think that sometimes what happens with companies is that they keep adding stuff to Google Analytics, for example, and then suddenly you are sending events to Google Analytics every 5 seconds just to know how long people stay on the website. So if someone stays on the website for 1 hour, you send like hundreds of events just for fun.
So every event that you add will increase your sampling, your probability.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it's very important to have organized data. And, there is always, some people, they can, break down different properties into different accounts. There are all kinds of techniques to circumvent sampling. But we are actively working on, making less and less sample report. So,
you are.
And by the way, one thing that I want to make clear is that on the default reports, you won't see some sample data. I think that's important to note. So, when we collect data, we dump the data into the default reports, and basically this goes, straight to the reports. The sampling happens when you're using processing power. So basically, if you're trying to use an advanced segment or a custom report or something that requires processing, and then the sampling happens.
So that's actually kind of huge news that I hadn't heard before. You are working to reduce the number of sampling, the amount of sampling that people are getting. If there's a reporter here, that's what you want to quote him on. So one thing that I always think when I talk to people from Google, you were showing how you use Google Analytics in the store. Do all Google properties use Google Analytics?
All of the ones that I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever find, you guys who are the analytic guru, do you ever have to go talk to people within the company and tell them because they're not using it very well, or tell them how to use it better?
Well, definitely we get lots of people from other departments asking us, can you help us? And, we can't always, but yeah, but we try to make sure that, at least the Google properties are using it, according to best practices.
Yeah. So a question, apparently some people in the audience don't think the documentation for Google Analytics is that great.
Really?
That's what they're saying. Is there, and I'm not that familiar with it, is there anything in the works to improve the documentation?
So I'm personally part of the, of the Google Analytics education team, and one of the teams that is the, Google Docs, Google Help Center. I'm sorry, the Analytics Help Center team.
I think there's been huge improvements over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
we're working very hard, and we really ask anyone that thinks that a specific document is not good, please do send feedback, because we look at this feedback, and we're always trying to improve. Obviously, there is a huge challenge with managing the Help Center is that we try to keep updated. There are like hundreds and hundreds of articles, and the product keeps changing. And I don't know, do you think maybe we should just stop changing the product and lock down the features and work on the Help Center?
Along those lines, Jonas wants to know, are there any step-by-step guides for custom integration? Are there any books or blogs that you would recommend for the custom stuff that you were talking about?
Yes. So first of all, online behavior. That's
yeah, very good. Online, the blog, online behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
So online behavior, we try to publish lots of custom solutions. There are, I don't know, for those of you, looking for Google Tag Manager solutions, there is simoahava.com. He's a great blogger writing about Google Tag Manager. There is the Lunametrics blog, is also one of the old blogs that, they write a lot of interesting stuff. There is Enor, which is also, one of our resellers. They write a lot of content. I know that Moz, there are lots of Google Analytics custom solutions there as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we are trying, for those of you, going back to the Help Center, we're trying to have those types of guides on the Help Center. We just released a few months ago a step-by-step guide for implementing Google Analytics with Google Tag Manager. So that's one of the things that we are also looking to this kind of solution.
So Teresa asked, how do you track acquisition sources for mobile app downloads from all channels through GA? We have to use competitive products to do it, as Google Analytics does not support most channels. Does that make sense?
So, does not support most channels? I believe it.
Basically, how to track acquisition sources for mobile app downloads through all channels.
Yeah. So that's one of the chapters of the book.
Okay.
By the way, just saying.
Yes. Okay. So the answer is. It sounds complicated. The answer is in the book.
I mean, I mean, obviously, with mobile apps, it's way more complicated to measure the channels. But we, especially iOS, I don't know exactly when we launched it, but not long ago we launched a way for you to track, referrals from iOS as well. Because with Android, it's easier for obvious reasons as well. But basically, it was a very challenging process, and I think we have a great solution now. But another way is, just use Google AdWords, right? And then you have it,
Okay. Final question for you, Daniel, or final topic. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know a lot of people are wondering, what's going on with referral spam?
So referral spam is something that, we're actively, very, very actively working on that.
Okay.
So we are, aware of the issue, and, I don't know, well...
Which will come out first, a solution for referral spam or Penguin?
I don't know about Penguin. So, yeah, I mean, we are actively working on that, and, there will be a solution for that.
A question I get all the time as an SEO, people ask me, does referral spam, hurt your website, or does it hurt your SEO? And it doesn't, but it does make the analytics portion a little more complicated.
Yeah, no, the only thing that it does is to mess with the Google Analytics data. Apart from that, it doesn't do anything. So some people, ask me, does it, do those people have access to my analytics data? Mm-hmm. That's an obvious no. And, the only thing that it does is to mess with the data. And, we are working on a solution that will be, hopefully soon. But, yeah, there is, I know this question comes up a lot is, if Google Analytics, the search team uses Google Analytics to, for ranking and this. So there is absolutely no connection between the databases. So it's just two separate things, two separate companies almost.
Yeah.
So it's not
all right, so check out online behavior. Daniel, thanks for coming to Brno and talking to us.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.